Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy XIII takes the kitchen sink approach in its attempt to cap off Square's trilogy on a strong note. It wisely throws away the battle system and locations of the previous games in favor of fresh and more interesting mechanics and settings. But in its attempt to kick things up for the final act of this generation's Final Fantasy trilogy, Lightning Returns stumbles in its storytelling. Instead of going out with a bang, it sadly ends with a muddled and tonally inconsistent whimper. The best thing about my 30-hour odyssey with Lightning is the refreshing new take on the battle system. Any fears I had that having only one party member and a newfound emphasis on action would diminish the experience were completely gone in the first 30 minutes. Though Lightning stands alone front and center in most fights, Square wisely captures the spirit of classic RPGs by allowing you to equip and customize a trio of schemata, which each act like a different party member. Each form has its own unique look, attacks, and ATB meter, all of which are incredibly customizable. As someone who loves tweaking minutia and comparing stats, Lightning Returns did a great job of empowering me to create a battle trio that felt unique and personal. But despite great battles, they're arguably less important than they've ever been in the series. You don't earn XP and level up through combat, only by completing quests. These range from story-based encounters with classic characters to countless boring fetch quests that made me feel like I was stuck in the opening hours of an MMO. The monotony of many of these objectives is counteracted partially by just how visually interesting and varied everything is. Lightning Returns almost immediately lets you off the leash. There are sprawling deserts filled with monsters that'll squash low-level characters, lush greenlands rife for exploration on Chocobo Back, and massive cities brimming with life in the midst of an end-of-the-world party. The world cycles through day and night, and the environments genuinely felt different at different times of the day. There's a sense of urgency in the world of Lightning Returns that I really enjoy. Lightning has always been a rather stoic cipher, but this time around she's downright unlikable. Her religious crusade has caused her to lose touch with humanity, which is evident through her interactions with other characters on both a narrative and technical level. The writing for many story quests is drenched in uninteresting pathos that failed to give me a reason to care about these characters that I've spent well over 100 hours with. Lightning's trip around the world tries to provide closure to every single one of her prior relationships, but fails to do any of it in an interesting or rewarding manner. Any life or levity that once existed in characters like Snow or Saz is nowhere to be found. Lightning Returns seems to have forgotten why we ever liked these characters in the first place. Sadly, most of Lightning Returns' attempts at humor or anything light-spirited fall flat and just come off as weird. There's also a really strange disconnect between the randomness of the side quests and the emotional desolation of the main story that makes the act of playing feel sort of jarring. Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII is a strange end to Square's trilogy. Its fresh combat system is a great success, and the well-designed world provides more than enough reason to play through to the end of Lightning's journey. At the same time, the incredibly inconsistent tone and underwhelming plot caused any story-based satisfaction to completely elude me. Lightning Returns is a good game, but one that forgets that a big part of what makes the Final Fantasy games so memorable is how they create characters we could care about. For more on Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII, stay here on IGN.
Let's make a show of it.